Hi everyone, a really short video for you that includes some mobility and stability work before a run. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so for this sequence I'd recommend not doing it in your shoes, to do it in bare feet or with socks. You're going to come to stand on a mat or off a mat, it doesn't really matter, and you're going to bring your feet into parallel hip distance apart. So it's about a hand between the feet and it's in line with the knobbly bits on your hips. Okay, to start with, we're just going to rise on up. So you're going to lift the heels, float on up a little bit taller, and then lower the heels down. So lift the heels, lower the heels. So we're working the ankles and the toes. You might find the toes grip a little bit to stop you falling forwards. That's totally normal, that's how the foot works. You might find the weight shifting forwards, but if you can, see if you can think of lifting up tall rather than shifting the weight forwards. So just waking up the feet, see if there's any clunkiness, if you're working both feet equally or if you could be a little bit more even. Really it's just about bringing the focus to the feet. We run on our feet, but we don't pay much attention to them. And then lower the heels back down. We're going to hug in one knee towards the chest, doesn't matter which one. You can hold in front or underneath the thigh. I'm going to circle the ankle joint a few times in each direction. So switching. And then lowering that foot. And switching sides. Circling the ankle, you might notice some clocks. It's totally fine. Reversing. Standing up as tall as you can whilst you do this. Standing up doesn't work, do it sitting down, lying down even. Okay, so we're going to start a little bit of balance work, opening up the front of the body. So let's step forward with our right foot, and you're going to bend in your left knee. Step that leg back, and take your left arm up and over. So it's the same arm as the back leg. And then you're going to step that leg in, bend the knee, and take it back into a lunge. Arm comes up and over. So we're balancing and working the right leg, and we're opening up the front of the left leg, the hip. And a little bit of side body work while we're here because it feels kind of nice. So we're trying to mix in functional movement that you would do whilst you're running, but also stretching out the body in maybe ways that you won't be working when you're running. We'll make this our last side stretch, and then we're going to add on a little bit of a rotation. So that knee bends in, you're going to step the leg back, right arm, the opposite arm is going to come to the hip, and then you're going to open up as if you're drawing a sword and rotate to the opposite side, okay? So, hand starts on the hip, step the leg back, open up, look towards your hand. Yeah. And I really do like to imagine, you can see I'm holding onto my sword, that I am drawing a sword. So I'm stepping carefully and mindfully back. I'm going to wobble a bit, that's totally fine, but I'm trying to keep my focus. Make this the last one. Drawing that sword, rotating that chest open. Good. And then we'll switch sides. So the left leg is going to stay still. The right knee is going to pull it, and then the leg is going to step back. Right arm is going to come up and over. Little side stretch. And I'm going to bend the knee. And step it back, and a little side stretch. Knee comes in, press it back, up and over. And last time. Okay, we're now going to complicate things a little bit with our twist. So, knee comes in, step it back, opposite hand to the hip, and you're going to draw the sword sword open. Okay, bend the knee, bring it in, step it back, opening up. Bend the knee, step it back, draw the sword. We'll do that 2 more times. So keeping your focus is going to help you balance, but if you have a wobble, it doesn't matter. We're doing this barefoot or in socks so that we can feel how the muscles in the feet do actually work. Okay, and then placing that foot down. We're going to come down onto our mat now. So coming down on all fours, and again, you don't really need a mat for this. Carpet would be fine as long as you're comfortable on your back. And we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. We're not going to worry too much about spinal alignment today. We're just going to take the right toes back, tuck the toes under, and then press the heel back for a little bit of a toe and calf stretch. I really like this. Gets right into the calves, and I get really tight calves. So just pressing it back as much as you need to feel a bit of a stretch, and then switching sides. So there's lots of calf stretches you can do against the wall, which are really good, but this is just one to do on the floor. Taking a couple breaths here, allowing the muscle to open, and as much as it's going to open. And then come back. Okay. So now I'm going to tuck the toes underneath us, the knees are underneath the hips. And I want you to find as neutral a position as you can in your spine. I just want you to pick up your tummy away from the floor, to press down with your hands, and to hover your knees off of the floor. So doing baby planks just to fire up the core a little bit, because that's what's going to keep you stable when you're running. And lower the knees down, taking a breath, allowing the breath to move freely into the tummy. And then as you breathe out, pull that tummy away from the floor and hover the knees as low as you can. So I want the weight to be equally distributed between the hands and the legs. I'm not just leaning forwards or back, I'm distributing it evenly so it's not as hard work. Lowering down, we're going to come up one more time. So press the hands away, make sure you're not sinking in the upper body, and hover the knees. And baby planks, of course, are a way to get a little bit of upper body work in. Running is predominantly the lower part of our body, so not forgetting the upper part. Lowering the knees down, sitting onto your heels and just relaxing those wrists, shake them out, especially if they're not used to sort of weight bearing. Okay, we're going to come down now onto our backs, and we're going to place those feet hip distance apart again. So there's another opportunity for a bit of knee alignment, and we're just going to allow the body to relax into the mat just for a second. So just feel the support of the floor. I'm going to press into the feet and we're going to peel up our spine, starting with the hips up to a plank position. So I want the hips to be the highest point and the ribs to be soft. So we're not in a back bend here, we're in a nice long line. Pressing down with the feet and lifting up with the glutes. And think of the knees reaching directly forwards in front of you, and then coming back down. So we're moving the spine, we're working the back of the legs, and we're working on our alignment of the knees. So hips, knees, and ankles in this particular format. On the mat, we can work on alignment. In real life, we're not working, not perfectly aligned. But this is an opportunity to practice so that we can feel any imbalances. Can we press equally through the feet? Can we keep both sides of the hips up nice and high? Okay, and then we're going to change it up a little bit. So I want you to come up through center, and then I want you to allow the left hip to drop. So it's like your left glute switched off. Yeah? And we're just going to roll down, and the left side is going to find the mat more than the right. Okay? And then you're going to press down into your right foot. You're still having the drop on the left hip, and roll back on up to where you began. Really pressing down with the right foot and allow the right hip to open up. Come back to center, so level the hips out and then take it to the other side. So the right hip is going to drop, you're going to roll down the right side of your spine. Yeah, so the left side never really fully lowers. And you're going to press into your left foot, open up through the left front hip and come on up. So you're in a little ski-whiff position. And then come back to center. Yeah, one more time each side. So left hip is going to just drop, roll down through the spine, press into your right foot, feel nice and strong through that right leg, and then re-level the hips. Right hip drops, lowering down, pressing into the feet, especially the left side, come back to center, and then lower all the way down. Lovely. Okay, so coming onto your side, a little bit of side core work. Bend your knees. Left hand, I'm turning towards my left, but it could be your right. Left hand out a little bit further away than the shoulder. Press down into the legs and lift up and over. So it's a little bit of a side body stretch, but equally we're working the underneath side. So the core isn't just the front of the body, it's like a cylindrical all the way around. Yeah, front, side and back. So this is a little bit of core work just to keep us nice and strong. Last one this side. And then come back down. Shift the legs. Okay. So remember, hand a little bit further out than the shoulder. Press down the legs and then come up and over. And push the hips up as high as you can. So they're not going just up, they're also going forwards a little bit. Yeah, and then the more you take the arm up and over, the more stretchy the side body will be. 2 more. Lifting the hips on the underneath side. And last one. Okay. Good, now we're going to come onto our back and we're going to work a little bit of our back core. That's our back. So come to lie down and bring your hands just roughly underneath the shoulders or slightly out. Legs are going to be nice and long, parallel behind you. We're going to hover the body, hover the legs and see if you can connect through the feet. If it's too much, for whatever reason, don't bother. And then you're going to hover the hands off and see if you can reach forwards. And then as if you're pulling an imaginary bar, bend the elbows in. We'll do this 5 times. So reaching forwards, keeping the hover, bending the arms. So working the lats here. Reaching, bending. If it's too much, lower the legs down. So we're being as efficient as we can in as short a time as we can before a run. Good, last one, just for fun. And then lower all the way back down. Take a nice little child's pose. And then you're ready for your run.